Dialogues are commonly used to collect response from the user. So there should be buttons on the dialog that allows the user to respond to the question. The dialog widget allows us to add buttons using the buttons option. For the buttons option, you can have object as the value or an array as the value. If you are setting the value of buttons to be an object, the key should be the button label and the value should be the callback function that should be executed on the button click. If you set the value of buttons as an array, each item in the array should be an object with properties and events specifying for the button. So let's see how to add buttons using buttons option and how we can set the value as an array and as an object. So first let us make a very basic dialog. So let me specify the title as confirmation, and within this I am just specifying, do you want to proceed? Okay, that is a question. So we can have two buttons, yes and no. So within this we need to add the buttons option, buttons, and first let's see setting the value as an object. Okay, so if you are setting the value as an object, the key should be the button label. So yes, and then the callback function for the button click. Okay, and we also need no. So no, again the callback function for the button click. So this time let us just display some messages on the button click. So within this, let me just specify, yes, we are going to proceed. Okay, and for no, let's specify another message like, okay, we will not proceed. So for these two buttons, we are going to show two different messages. So in this case, the key is the button label. So on the button, the text will be yes, and on the other button, it will be no. And the value should be the callback function that should be executed on the button click. So let's save. Let me refresh. Okay, we are seeing two buttons. Let me click the yes button. See, you are seeing the message, yes, we are going to proceed. And on the no button, we are seeing the message, okay, we will not proceed. Instead of this, we can do some other actions if we want. Okay. Next, we can have an array as the value of buttons option. In that case, each item should be an object with the required properties and events. Okay. So let me remove this, and we are going to set the value as an array, and we need to have different objects for each button. So this time let's change the message like, are you sure you want to delete the items permanently? So are you sure you want to delete the items permanently? Okay. We can also specify, you cannot undo this operation. Okay. In this case, we want two buttons. They are cancel and delete. So for the first button, I want the text as cancel. Okay. And for the second button, I want the text as delete. So this object, we have one property that is text. And for the second button, we have added the text to be delete. So let's see that first. Refresh. See, you are seeing cancel and delete. Then if you want to add some icons on this button, you can use the icons key. So icons, and within that you can add two icons actually. A primary icon which will be added on the left hand side of the text, and a secondary icon which will be added at the right hand side. So this time I want only primary icon. Okay, so within this let me specify primary, and for cancel we can have a cross, right? And for the delete button we can either have a tick or some delete icon. So jQuery provides a number of icons that can be used, and you can find it at api.jqueryui.com/theming/icons. So let me check whether I can get a cross for the cancel. So let me try to find cross. There is no cross. Okay, this close thick can be used. UI icon close thick. So let me copy this, and within this it should be passed in double quotes. Okay, so we have specified the primary icon, and let's check it. Refresh. See, you are seeing a cross here. And for delete, let's check whether we can find a delete icon. There is no delete icon as such. The name might be something different. Okay, for the time being, let's use this one, UI icon check. Okay, we could not find a delete icon from this list. So let me specify UI icon check. So after this, let me put a comma, then icons. It should be within curly braces because we can add primary as well as secondary if you want, and UI icon check. Okay, let me put an enter here to see it clearly. Okay, now the code is aligned properly. Then we can have the click function. So click, let me add the function, and for this as well we can have a function for the click event. So function, and if the person clicks cancel, what we can do, we can just close the dialog. So we can write the code like this, $this dot dialog. We can close it by specifying close here. Okay, and if we click the delete button, we actually have to delete the items, right? But I'm not going to write the code for all those because we don't have anything to delete as such. So I'm going to display a message here, alert, all the items are deleted. So this should be displayed actually after deleting the items. So let's see the output. Refresh. Let me click the delete first. See, all the items are deleted. Let me click the cancel button. See, the dialog itself is closed. You can actually have more events if you want. Okay, just to show you, let me add a mouse over event. So function, let me just display some message, alert, mouse over, and let's see, refresh. I have done it on the cancel button. So see, when I move the mouse over the button, we are seeing the message mouse over. Again, if I move, it will give the message. So let me click this to prevent this page from creating additional dialogues, and let me click the cancel. It is closed. So this way you can add buttons to your dialog. The value of buttons option can either be an object or an array of objects. If you are setting the value as an object, the key should be the label text and the value should be the callback function for button click. And if you are setting the value of buttons option as an array, each item in the array should be objects and each object should have the required properties and callback events. So we have to specify the text that should be displayed on the button. If you want to add some icons, you can have it using the icons option, and you can add primary and secondary icons. Then you can add different callback functions. So buttons is a useful option in case of dialogues because dialogues are commonly used to get the response from a user and proceed accordingly.